All right, and we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Britton's Hangout Hour, episode 50. Yes, and the guest today is me. Yes. So welcome to the show. Taking a few minutes probably to get everyone over here. It probably started on my there it goes. So here we are. Hello, everyone. And welcome back to Britton's Hangout Hour, episode 50. Hopefully there are going to be more people in the comments. Got my Dr. Pepper ready. Good to go. Well, yes, it is 6 o'clock in the evening, in Central Standard Time out here. I'm going to share this on my Twitter as well as my It's probably going to take a few minutes for people to start showing up, so I guess I'll just do some bullshitting before people start showing up, if people start showing up. Had a bit of a busy day today. Sorry if you can hear my family in the background. Favorite fan here, Tharnall. My favorite stream buddy is on here now. Yeah. Hopefully more people will start showing up. I did send it all on Discord for anyone who was interested. But then again, we are about 3 minutes in, so I can see how some people might be like, oh, what's going on here? But yeah, so what's been going on? I thought the Ravens were gonna win the Super Bowl, and now they lost to the Chiefs. I'm kind of flabbergasted, to be honest with you. But so what are we gonna actually do this episode of Britton's Hangout Hour? Hopefully, if more people show up, and hopefully, if you guys are interested, you can ask me questions about the podcast, and you can also ask me about future plans I have for the podcast, and also just the regular stuff we talk about on stream. So rather it be books, comics, manga, whatever. I'm not really too picky. But I did want to talk about some podcast stuff today because 50 is a milestone. And I am glad that I've made it to 50, to be honest with you guys. Oh boy. Jacob Pogue is in the house. What's up, Jacob? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I sent it on my Facebook, so here we go. Oh man. Yep, yesterday I put up the previous episode, which had my buddy Jason Furman. If you want to watch that. Yeah. So yeah, here we are, and we got 3 viewers in here now. So there we go. Yeah, uh, that's good, Jacob. That's good. See, did you see Carlton's tweet today? Oh, my uncle's texting me about the game. Well, I guess I'm glad the Chiefs won because, like, I have a bit of a soft spot for the Chiefs. Um, but you know, eh, we're we're at where we're at. Um, what was his tweet? Oh, you didn't see it? It was about Israel and all that. Thought it was pretty funny. Oh, yeah. Dr. Pepper here. Yeah, but seen any interesting movies recently, Jacob? Because you know, I'm hoping Tharnall is still here as well. He always has good things to say. I love it. I have 250 subs. You know. Oh man. Uh, uh, got on Twitter. Yeah, everything's been talking about. I did see. Oh, so he says he did see Wonka. Um, it was a pleasant surprise. Oh, that's cool. You know, I have not seen Wonka yet because to be honest, I've been really lazy when it comes to movies recently. Like I might see the Bob Marley film soon, but don't know yet. Tharnell says I am here. I was just thinking about what comic to finish next. I see. Hmm. But yeah, so we've been sort of, well, I should say I've been doing this for um oh lord, maybe a year and a half now. So yeah, we got about 50 episodes going now. So yeah, hold on, let me look for. Oh, there's a playlist. Yeah. So you know, talk to a lot of people. You know, I've even had a couple of recurring episodes as well. I did one with my good friend Josh Panthaloresco, who actually inspired his show. If you watch his show, Just Joshing, on you can find it on YouTube. You can find it on uh, Twitch, as well as some other sites where you can just listen to the audio if you don't want to see everyone. Um, if you watch his show, it's pretty much like mine, except he's a way better interviewer than I am. Or at least he's way better at talking to people than I am. And I've even had him on the show a few times. Good guy. I always love the conversations we have. So yeah. As for what comic to finish next, I don't know, man. There's so many comics to read and manga too. I mean, it's not just comics, my man. There's also manga to worry about, you know. But this weekend anyway has been pretty busy all around. Been watching. I did a conversation with Philip Chase and Raph Bluetext about the fantasy genre. And I also had a conversation. Well, not a conversation. I also had the stream that I did for my 1 year anniversary on YouTube. At least this booktube channel, anyway. So yeah, that's been. It's been a time. It's been a time. Also, last night, I guess the Muse decided to come out of nowhere and hit me with a review, so I just typed one out feverishly, and here we are now. Well, it was of a Laird Barron book, because I was, for some reason, I was kind of, I guess it was because I had rewatched True Detective season 1, so that might be it. We'll see. Um, yeah. I have not heard of Muse, though I have heard that they are bringing a lot of people back for the new Daredevil show, so I'm a little more optimistic about it coming back. Um, yeah, I wonder how they're going to explain the Kingpin getting out again. I guess it's just it's like you said in season 3, no cage can keep me. Um, I mean, I don't know what else to say about True Detective that hasn't already been said before, at least as the first season anyway. I think the first season is one of the best seasons of television I have ever seen in my life. It's very, very good. I really enjoy season 1 a lot. I do love season 3 is also pretty good, though it's not quite season 1. Once you've watched season 1, it might ruin it for everybody. But season 1 of True Detective is one of the most masterful pieces of television I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the writing, the acting, the direction, it's fantastic. And again, season 3 is also very good. Drew says, hello, Britton. Hello, Drew. How are you doing today? He's essentially Daredevil's version of Joker. I thought that was Bullseye. I guess not. I stand corrected. Also, Foggy and Karen are back. I'm feeling pretty good. Be honest with you guys. Feeling good about Daredevil Born Again is what it's called. I do hope that D'Onofrio comes back as Kingpin, because he's always great, and I'm sure he will, because we all love Wilson Fisk, at least D'Onofrio's version. Oh, he's already setting. Oh, wow. I am a Sooners fan, lifelong and avowed. I have kept up with and I was actually just talking about a little bit ago. I was talking about the Ravens Chiefs game, and somehow the Chiefs have bullshitted their way into yet another Super Bowl. So there we go. I'm a little surprised. I thought the Ravens were gonna, Ravens kind of came out of nowhere and started just beating up everybody, and I'm like, oh wow, they might actually do it. So I guess I'm going back to the 49ers as my predicted Super Bowl win, unless the Lions decide to just completely side stomp them and just do the old just take it, and you're like, okay, that happened. But like I said, I guess I'm going back with 49ers. But yeah, so there's a lot going on. Holy what? They are? I'm doing this. Let me look this up actually. Yo, that would be hilarious if the Lions actually won. That would just be, oh man. Wow, they really are. Well, it's like my dad likes to say, definitely not why. This is why I don't bet, people. This is why I do not bet in the NFL games, because I am probably going to lose money. So, I am not Robert De Niro from Casino. I can't just, yeah, I bet you are disappointed. You're from Maryland. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I've been, well, I live in Oklahoma. I live in Oklahoma City. Yeah, my dad, big fan. We've been fans. Well, I've been a fan for most of my life. So yeah. I don't go there because it's a bit too far from where I live, and I like living at my house, to be honest with you guys. It's good stuff. But yeah, just my dad loved it, and I kind of just took from him. But yes, I am from Oklahoma. Also, hello, Kindle and Kicks. How are you doing, Darko? Hope you're doing well. Journalism, pretty much. That's basically where I'm at. I did all of my, what's the word? I did all of my general education stuff, and now I'm just focusing on what I got for my degree. So, yeah, they call it professional media where I go. Still recovering from that loss. Yeah, I feel you, man. Dude, I was so pissed about, I think it was 2 weeks ago when Dallas lost to the Packers. I'm like, are you guys for real? To the Packers? I thought maybe you would blow it to the 49ers, because, that would be something, right? No, we lose to the Packers. I'm just like, are you serious? The Packers. Like, they're not terrible. I'll give them that. They're not terrible. But they weren't really that, like, they weren't like, Dallas definitely should have beat them. Yeah, I know Dallas blows it every year, but I don't know why, but it's like Dallas blows it, but they always blow it in the most painful fashion possible. It's just, oh man, just, oh, terrible luck there. It's just, yeah, just it's not fun. It's not fun being a Dallas fan. I'm sure I'm sure I understand a lot of people don't really love the excuse me, the Dallas Cowboys, but yeah, I was pretty disappointed that we lost to the freaking Packers of all teams. Oh yeah. So you share my pain then. You share my pain then. Oh man. Oh, you share my pain, brother. It's not easy. I do. I've written a fantasy novel which I'm very proud of. Hope to kind of polish that up, see what I'm going to do with it. I don't really know what avenue I want to take with it yet, and also I still need to edit it a little bit. Right now I'm working on a Western. So yeah, I'm excited about that because I didn't really want to. I mean, as much as I want to work on the sequel to the fantasy novel I was telling you about, I kind of want to experiment in different genres. I don't really want to. I don't really want to. What's the word? I don't want to pin myself down. I guess is that a good term? No, I don't want to. I don't want to pigeonhole myself. That's a good term. Thank you. I'm glad there's people who are interested. What's the elevator pitch? Well, there's a weird thing going on hold on. Let me actually find I have so many tabs down here. It's absolutely insane. Just look at the tab there. So here's the premise from what I wrote down on the draft I have here right now. Koba is a man who is known for solving problems. I put that in quotes. though often through dubious, violent means. But one fight too many has led Koba into a situation where he can't say no. He is tasked by an old acquaintance to go to a town where there have been many strange happenings. Anna has been struggling to cope with the disappearance of her husband, the town's doctor, and is attempting to take her husband's place, an attempt to save their place from being demolished. Circumstances eventually bring Koba and Anna together as they uncover a conspiracy that goes all the way to the town's sinister governor. So yeah, that's basically the pitch. But if you mean like elevator pitch, I don't generally like doing those, but it's kind of like The Witcher, but like with a Punisher bent. It's basically like it's also very noir based as well. So if anyone is interested, though it's not in first person, it's a third person story. Um I mean, if you like stuff like The Witcher or Solomon Kane or Bloodborne, I think you might get a kick out of this book if you ever um but yeah, I didn't really want to do like a standard kind of like chunker book. Now don't get me wrong, I don't mind like chunky fantasies, and I don't I respect people who can write chunky fantasies. Like, I don't know if I mean, I've only written the one novel, and it's only like 250 something pages. So, I mean, that they put in a lot more work than I did. But I wanted to keep things relatively simple. So, people could just kind of just go in, read it, and have a good time. So, yeah. That's kind of it. Yeah. I'm excited for people to read it. It will be a series. That I know for sure. It will be a series. Um, Hoping to get to work on the sequel at some point. Don't know when that's going to be, but should be good. But yes, there will be more books in that there will this is a series. Yes. Thought that was parent. Thank you, Tharnal. I'm glad that you find it interesting. And hopefully some of you find it interesting as well. And when I do eventually put it out somewhere, you guys can review it. I know Self Pub has been kind of blowing up, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure what angle to take with it just yet. I mean, I would enjoy being like writing is something I'm very passionate about. I mean, that's why I joined. That's why went for journalism, because I like writing things down. Um, I would love to do it as a career, but for right now, it's just kind of something I'm doing. Um, so yeah. I mean, I don't have an agent or anything like that. In all honesty, I'm like, oh man, I have thought of going the indie route, because it's like it seems kind of easier, even though there's of course you have to find your own people, and you have to do most of it yourself, and also I'm the only thing that's kind of stopping me is I don't know if I have the following where people would get much of an impact. Um, yeah, not so much reading, but I have to do a lot of writing. I work at my school's newspaper, um, so yeah, basically I have to cover a lot of entertainment related stuff. So I watch a lot of stuff for my work. It's been tough getting everyone together though recently, because there's been a lot of weather going down here. It's been snowing. I even missed the first day of my semester because of the weather out here. It's ridiculous. But going back to writing, Yeah, I do. I have written a lot. So yeah, yeah. I also write a lot of reviews on Goodreads and like Letterboxd and other places like that. If you want to, yeah, they can be. Luckily, I really enjoy everyone who I work with, so it's been quite nice. Um, Kind of getting everyone to hang out, and I mean, I may have disagreements with them from time to time, but I enjoy talking with them. So yeah, it's nice when you have people you get along with when you work. A lot of my reading is done when I have free time, which is pretty hard to find, believe it or not, because I'm busy with a lot of other things. I do this YouTube channel. I have college. I have other things. Um, yeah, it's definitely it's. I mean, it definitely takes a lot of effort to do. Um, Luckily though, I've really gotten into the swing of this YouTube channel. So I'm finding, or at least, yeah, I am. You sound very busy. Yes, a lot of I've had a lot of episodes of this show where people are like, "Dude, how do you do all this?" I'm like, "Man, you gotta find out how to you gotta really like you have to manage your time." And yeah, I also just like to keep busy with stuff. So, I mean, Christmas break was fun though. It was kind of a double-edged sword because one, there weren't a lot of people available for like talking about stuff, but on the other hand, it was fun. I had a lot more time to read, get more content out. So yeah, it's been fun. It's a lot of fun stuff. And yeah, I did just finish recording a What's the Big Fuss, which is a new series on my channel. Oh, I imagine I've tried. He actually hope interestingly, I think he was just busy at the time. I'll have to ask him again. Um well, thank you, Drew. I'm glad that you think that. I'm nervous out of my freaking mind when I do my videos. I will say when I do stuff like the podcast or when I talk with people on like discussions, I am calmer because I have somebody else with me to you know hang out with. Like right now, like I'm okay because I can do it because I've been doing videos for a while. But man, just doing it by myself and talking at the camera, like it's crazy, man. Well, I'm glad you all think that. It's you know, like I posted a review for the Republic of Thieves the other day, and I was because usually how it works when I record stuff is I record the bit. I'll record a couple times because sometimes there's just the cuts I don't like. I'll start it and then I'll stop it if I don't like it. Um, then I'll get something that um then I'll record a bit when if I feel like the flow is right, then I'll put it up on YouTube, and that's usually what goes up. I usually do it in one take, so I know, very impressive. But it takes a couple of times to really get it right because and also I have bullet points, so it's not just me. Because if I were just talking off the cuff, you can watch some old videos where I'm talking off the cuff. And it's very rambly, very I get distracted. I think about something else, and yada. So yeah. Everyone's always saying, trying to get me to do the drums. I'll do a drum. I'll do a drum short at some point, just for you guys. I there's gonna be if I get a hater, that would be pretty hilarious. I've gotten a couple of the bad comments aren't so common, which is nice. You know, I've gotten a couple, like, there's been a couple who were like, you suck, or something like that. Or there was one where I have my friend Kyle will come on and do like discussions about stuff. It's really hard to get him down because he's busy as all get out. But we did a discussion on an unmade film from Shane Carruth called The Modern Ocean. If you want to go watch that, maybe I'll put the link down. You guys can watch it at some point, or you can go to my channel and find it. I recorded it the first time I had done the channel. There was this guy who just came on the channel randomly, and this is usually how hate comments go. Leaves a paragraph talking about how we're terrible people for, talking about stuff that's gone on between the guy who made the movies. And I'm like, dude, I was not intending that at all. Like, I don't know what you're getting at, dude. It's crazy how this stuff works. Oh, Mom liked my. Oh. But yeah, But going back to how I make videos, I was talking about the Republic of Thieves. This is what I was talking about. Why I don't do it off the cuff anymore. Yeah, I thought that video wasn't that great. I was like, oh man, are people gonna be like, this sucks? And it was funny because there was a conversation that managed to come out of it on Discord about, because there was a part of that book that just really bothered me. And I go into more detail in the spoilers section, which I usually don't do. So, that tells you what I thought. And a lot of it was just me being just flabbergasted by just being flabbergasted by why Scott Lynch made said choice. Wow. Maybe he means the world of the dinosaurs? I have no idea what he's talking about there. and usually the hate comments are really irrational too. Like, it's just, oh my gosh. It's just, oh man. I mean, it's fun stuff like that. I remember I did also I used this site called Quora. I've gotten a couple of mean comments on that as well. Um Oh man, that's hey, maybe. Though it was an animal, so it probably didn't really feel that much about, stuff. What's my favorite food? Oh man, I'll admit I'm a bit of a picky eater, so that makes things pretty hard. I like chicken a lot, like fried chicken, like that I really like that a lot. Meat, most meats. Like, I'm not a turkey guy, for instance, but if it is meat, like if it's like pork or steak or chicken, I like that. I like it a lot. Good stuff. Good stuff. Though grilled chicken, I don't know. I like grilled chicken, but like, I don't know. It's just, it feels weird to me. Though, maybe someday my taste buds will like it. I remember something Jordan from iWizard said he eats like the like first grader meal. I'd be like, yeah, that's about how I would describe it. Yeah, sadly, I'm a little not that quick when it comes to the humor. Where I have it paused, there we go. Had it paused, looked like my eye was crossed or something. I don't think I have a. I've been very fortunate in my life. Um, 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 but like I said, if any of you have any questions about the podcast or, like I said, anything else, feel free. It tells you how small I am. I mean, though, I mean, I'm here and I'm like, I think of like Jimmy Nuts and um, I think of like Jimmy Nuts and I wonder how the hell he deals with, you know, so many people in his live streams commenting. I don't know how the hell he keeps up with all of it. I really don't. Would you ever live somewhere where it snows? Probably not, because well, I have depressive issues, and usually in the winter is when it's most terrible. So yeah, I'm um probably not going to be living anywhere where it snows all the time. But I do already live in a place where it doesn't snow all the time, but it snows. It snows. Hello, hello. Mike Molman is here, indie author. I was just actually talking about my book that I wrote that I haven't, it's not published yet or anything. But I mean, you're a self pub guy. If you want to shill why self pub is actually a good idea, you can feel free and let me know. But I like to call I like to call Mike Wallace Shawn. I don't know if he gets it yet. I've said that a couple times on his stream. I'm like, I wonder when he's gonna get it. I'm talking about him. Also, hope to have Mike on this very show at some point. I would feel kind of weird. Um, yeah, that's about what I've heard. I guess my only thing is, well, I don't have, I don't have, I, you don't know Wallace Shawn? He was the guy in Princess Bride who plays the inconceivable guy. He's also T Rex in the Toy Story movie. Thought you kind of looked like him. That was kind of the joke. But a lot of my jokes are not really good. Yes, I do hope to get Mike on my show at some point, but I haven't I haven't read any of your books, so yeah, I think I've added them on my list from Goodreads. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Oh, gee, my hero. Well, that's good. That's good. I'll send them to you. Well, I appreciate that. You follow me on Twitter, so I'll hold you to it. Um, but yeah, I know that's what I've heard. You control everything, both good and bad. Um, yeah, I'm actually hoping to have a conversation on my channel at some point this upcoming month about trad pub versus self pub and if there should be a conflict between the two, because I have noticed a couple of, I don't want to say fights, but there's been a sort of debate slash there's been a couple of spats about self pub trad pub, if there's any differences. I know that Tori's kind of, I asked Tori that the other night on one of her podcasts, and she just kind of I was kind of surprised by how blunt she was when she answered. She was like, kind of tired of that question. And I'm like, all right. Hope she'll still come on my pod though, because I try to get along with everyone. That's my thing. That's why I started this show. Is the hit and miss of Fiverr. Explain yourself. But that's a good point. Yeah, that's kind of the allure though of Goodreads, or not Goodreads, Self Pub, is that I can kind of just do whatever I want. I don't have to ship it to a. I mean, the thing about TradPub is I don't want to be one of those guys like Philip Chase who like tries to pitch for. God, he did it for like 18 years. He tried going trad for like almost 2 decades. That is ridiculous, and just not get anywhere. And just like, so that's why I'm writing a lot recently, is because like I want to. I don't know. I did send it to a friend of mine who edited my first draft, and he knew it was my first like big book I've done in a while. So it's actually Josh who inspired this show, as a matter of fact. So if Josh ever watches this for whatever reason, I know he's God, you think I'm busy. He's ridiculously, he's been doing a lot of stuff on his show. He's actually going to take his show on the road soon. So yeah. It's kind of but yeah, no, I hear what you say. My dad was asking me the other day. He's like, "Really? You gave him like $400 for that?" And I'm like, "Stop it." And yes, I did, and I don't regret it at all. He gave a lot of great feedback. And yeah, Josh Pantaloresco. I'll spell it in the comments for anyone who might be interested. So Josh, there. I mean, if you watch his show, you can kind of get the idea that I kind of ripped him off. Though, luckily he's nice enough. He wasn't too upset. Though it's not really, it's just kind of where I shoot the breeze a little bit. Oh, Jason's here. Hello, Jason. How's it going, my man? I actually just had him on recently. Posted that yesterday, and Jason, ever the memester, commented on my announcement and on the video saying, "Oh, there I am," and I'm like, "You bastard." No, Jason's good people, though. Jason's good people. Oh, that's right. That's right. Sorry, I guess I got them mixed up. I assumed maybe he had, yeah, that tells you, that tells you how much I know. I mean, I wouldn't call me and Philip like good friends, but we have talked a few times, and he's a nice dude. Like, I learned he was the son of a pastor. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Either that or he's Mormon. No, but seriously though, he's a great guy. Oh, Epic's here as well. What's going on, man? This is just my 50th episode of Britton's Hanging Hour. It's just me this time. So, basically, if you have any questions about podcasts, creative stuff, anything you really want to talk about, then shoot them, man. So yeah, I'm just gonna be hanging out here for a little while. Yeah. Thanks, man. I know. I can't believe I made it to 50, to be honest with you, because there was a minute there where the show kind of stalled, and I was like, shit, I don't know who else I'm gonna get, And then finally, I was having a talk with a friend. It's actually the same guy who inspired this show. And he was like, we talk a lot. So there you go. That's how I bring him up a lot. I Well, he was telling me like, why not just start it? You got these opinions. You're a smart guy. And I'm like, you know what? And then I finally watched Brian Lee Durfee's videos. I'm like, you know what? If that guy can stand up there on his little rinky-dink iPhone and just bullshit about books for 10 to 15 minutes, why the hell am I not doing it? So here I am now. And also, another good thing about BookTube, when you start joining their discords and you start your own channel, you meet a whole lot of new people. So yeah, I started just cranking them out there, and then I was very pleased with it. Jason and I, who also talk frequently, he was like, "Dude, how do you get so many guests?" I'm like, "Dude, Discord, man. Like, join the BookTube like discords, and you'll find a bunch of guests. And really, you got to ask. It's not really." It's not science. Though, oh dear. Wow, lions are really. What is your book about? Well, I did read is it too late for me to make a cameo? Well, I have already written it, so probably not gonna see any cameos from you. Maybe at some point in the future, but when is it coming out? Don't know yet. I'm still editing it. Hopefully sometime in 2024 if I decide to go the self-pub avenue, but we'll see. We'll see. But what's the book about? It's about a guy named Koba who is tasked by an old acquaintance of his to go to a town where there's been a lot of strange boogaloo going on. Good stuff. It's very much a throwback to more pulp inspired fantasy, I suppose. And just stuff I think is really fun. I have not actually read Brian's books. I just know that he has written a lot of. I know he wrote a trilogy, which I haven't read, but I've had friends who've read it, and they said it's pretty good. I might pick it up at some point, but man, that's a chunky boy. And apparently, excuse me, it's supposed to be 5 books. So, I'm like, oh, hopefully that does not, hopefully that doesn't turn into hopefully that doesn't go badly. Oh yeah, I also saw your new video today, Epic. It was very good. And I then watched AJP's version, and then I went and saw his Cormac McCarthy. And here's what this freaking guy did. He talked about all of the Cormac McCarthy novels while playing Filthy Frank in the freaking background. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, dude, and somehow he got away with it. I don't. Oh man. But Drew, you said you finished Brian's trilogy. What did you think of it? Be right back real quick. Don't go anywhere. Oh, and that, my friends, is why you do not drink a shitload of Dr. Pepper before you start a stream. Oh, no. Just had to take a piss real quick. No. You're a funny man. No, but yeah, it's just how is it holding up? Well, it's surviving. Final battle. Oh, that's interesting. God, I don't even remember the last time maybe the first law was the last time I read a fantasy battle. That was like a year ago. My God. That tells you how unconventional my fantasy taste is. A lot of them don't have big battles. I probably should read more of the big battle fantasy stuff. Well, I did read Beyond Redemption. That didn't really have a lot of battle sequences though. It was more of just like it's very yeah, that one's interesting. Um, Epic Tales and myself and Dan from Black and Blue Collar Reader read it. What series do I want to read this year? Well, I'm glad you asked that because there are a couple I hope to start. Next, um, I'm hoping to read In Cold Blood this upcoming month. Um, uh, let me find. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the comments. There are a couple series I'd like to start this year. I'm hoping to read the Sinlin Ascends book by Josiah Bancroft. It sounds like the type of quirky mystery that I would really dig, and hoping that it doesn't suck. I've heard that like it starts really strong and then by the end it just kind of dips, but hopefully it doesn't suck. I'm also hoping to start Gorman Gost in the summer. Um, Gorman Gost is a very unconventional fantasy series, often recommended by the people who aren't as much into Tolkien, like Michael Moorcock, China Mieville. There's a couple others who really enjoy. Even C.S. Lewis really liked Gorman Gost, written by a guy named Mervyn Peake. It's about this big castle, and apparently it is the strangest fantasy novel, one of the strangest fantasy novels ever written. It's a series of 3 books. He was originally going to do more, but sadly he got dementia and he passed away before he could really do any more. So yes, it's one I've wanted to do for a long time, just haven't really gotten around to it. Also, the Edan books from Philip Chase, like I mentioned earlier. I think he's great. He's a good dude. I actually had him on my channel a few days ago. Actually, no, not a few days ago. Yesterday. Gonna put that up next Friday. We're gonna be talking about hopefully it doesn't suck. First sci-fi book, Jason. I'll admit, like I've said, I've been kind of bad with my sci-fi, but I am going to read Kindred from Octavia Butler, which I guess is technically sci-fi. There's time travel in it, but I've heard it's a little fantasy. Sci-fi. I do hope to get to Philip K. Dick's Ubik in sometime this year. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but hopefully I will get to it soon. I've heard that is one of his best. And I will say my favorite, though, is A Scanner Darkly. We're talking PKD. But my first one's probably going to be Kindred. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, sorry, Katie. Hyperion. I hope to read Hyperion this year as well. I'm really looking forward to reading that because a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, that book is so good." I want to see what the fuss is about. To be honest with you, so yeah. No, I've heard it's not an easy read. It's very visual and it's very and Peak is an illustrator as well. So if you're a fan of so if you uh if you want to look up Mervyn Peake illustrations, he drew stuff and he was actually not bad at it. I like some of his illustrations. And actually, in my copy that I have, which is my parents went a little overboard, got me the omnibus version. There are illustrations of Gorman Gost in this book. So yeah, I hope that it doesn't suck because yeah. Well, that's why I started the State of Science Fiction, Jason, is because I wanted to get on that train. Which, by the way, guys, if you want to read or if you want to see some sci-fi talk, go check out State of Science Fiction. There's only 1 episode so far where I've talked with Jason, of course. I've heard Hyperion is great. Actually, hold on. I have it right here. So this copy I have. Um. Oh yeah, and Wistful Ascending from Joe Byrne, who is a friend of the channel, and hopefully it's a bit more superhero, which is going to be a little weird for me because I'll be honest, I'm used to reading about superheroes in comics, so we'll see how it goes. I've heard it's very good. Let's see. I do want to continue John Harrison's trilogy. Sorry if you heard that. Let's see. What else in terms of sci-fi? I don't actually know. Again, I'm hoping to read some more M. John Harrison. Oh yeah, speaking of M. John Harrison, I have Viraconium over there, which I also really want to try. That's another fantasy series I want to get to this year. No, that's my uncle and aunt and my parents talking about. They're probably watching football in there. I hope to continue Descender, which is a comic book series by Jeff Lemire. I do have some issues with it, but the art in Descender is incredible. It's so good. Oh, so good. Also, might try Primordial for that from also Jeff Lemire, but Andrea Sorrentino, who is also a fantastic artist. Horror books coming up. Oh, I am going to be reading. I'm doing a buddy read with my buddy John Minton from Talking Story. I'm very excited about that. We're going to be covering What Moves the Dead, as well as its sequel. I can't think of the name right now, but they're putting a sequel to it. As a big Edgar Allan Poe fan, I've heard this is sort of a retelling of sorts of the Fall of House of Usher. Looking forward to that. Also, I hope to read In the Valley of the Sun by Andy Davidson, which is apparently kind of his Cormac McCarthy-esque take on vampires. I'm like, oh, that really sounds that really gets me going, What else? God. What other horror book? Let's see. Red Rabbit, maybe as well. It's more of a horror western. I've heard that one's really good. Also, This Census Taker by China Mieville. I've heard that's more of a horror book from him. So yeah, a lot of that's probably going to be in October. So we'll see how that goes. I do actually want to try more Laird Barron because I've read his crime novels and I do have some issues with it, but I do like them. It's good stuff. How many books do I typically read a month? Generally 4 to 5. Most of the time it depends. If I have a really good month, usually 4 or 5. Sometimes I'll, read like 2 or 3 if the month is really slow, but if the month is going really well, then usually about 4. Oh, did he? I didn't know that. Let me just pull it out real quick. Yeah, got it right here. Let me see. What other horror books? Maybe The Ritual as well, if I can put that in there. I've really wanted to try The Ritual. I didn't read it. I've seen the film. I really liked the movie. I thought it was very good. It's well shot. I like the acting. Rafe Spall's really good in it. The effects are very good. I really like the monster in that movie. When do I plan to start reading Kindred? Start of February. So a couple days from now, as a matter of fact. Oh yeah, and Jonathan Lethem's Girl in Landscape. I might read that in terms of sci-fi reads. I don't know if I'm going to get to it this year, but we'll see. Oh man, so much. There's so much to read, so little time. Maybe the Yiddish Policeman's Union for Michael Chabon, but that's not really a guaranteed deal. Because again, as there's I'm a mood reader, you see, so like it depends on how I'm feeling, and there's like the books I really want to read, and then there's like the books like I want to read, but like if I don't get to read it, like I won't feel too bad. It's kind of weird how I plan reads, because to be honest, I've been kind of just screwing around because I'm reading Thrice right now, hoping to finish that before January's over. But January's actually been a pretty good reading month. Usually January starts out pretty slow. Oh yeah, always. I'm going to be reading Lonesome Dove this year. Probably in the summertime because it seems like a summer book. Mystery thriller. I'm hoping to get to Motherless Brooklyn by Jonathan Lethem. I've heard that book is really good. I've seen like trailers of the movie. Literary Cormac McCarthy. I'm gonna read. I'm really gonna see if I can get to Outer Dark, and I really want to try The Crossing because I read All the Pretty Horses last year. I thought it would be appropriate to read The Crossing this year, and then maybe next year I'll do Cities in the Plain, or Cities on the Plain, Cities of the Plain. Oh, let me look that up real quick. Border Trilogy. Cities of the Plain. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I've heard Outer Dark is kind of his darkest book, or one of his darkest books. I'd say his darkest book is Blood Blood Meridian. I mean, that at least that I've read anyway. That book is fucked up. Man. Also, I hope to read. Let me see. In terms of literary fiction, but I do want I the noir bug has bitten me since I rewatched True Detective recently, so I might read some noir. So I might read some more noir this upcoming month. I'm not sure yet. I'm really wanting to get Motherless Brooklyn though. That's kind of my main focus. Maybe I'll reread. Maybe I'll reread Down the River Unto the Sea because I saw Robert from from Punk Rock Cereal Bowl really liked it, and I was like, well, that book was kind of, I didn't really care for it. But maybe I'll try it, see how it goes. Oh yeah, I'm also going to be continuing the Dark Star trilogy, so I'm going to be reading Moon Witch, Spider King, and might read The Erstwhile from Brian Catling. Not sure yet. I'm not really fully sold yet. I haven't really found a time to really stick that in. Also, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell I'm going to read. I'm really looking forward to that. Really crossing my fingers on that one. I've had a lot of friends who really enjoy. I mean, if you really want to know, like I did a top 10 books I want to read in 2024, and you can watch those and get an idea. Do you read in one long session or break it up? I generally shotgun them. I generally read in sessions. I don't generally I have listened to music before if it felt appropriate. Like like I've read Blood Meridian a couple times, and there's this lady called Amy Gets Lit, which I recommend if you ever do read Blood Meridian and are struggling with it. Watch Amy Gets Lit's videos about Blood Meridian. They're fantastic. Really helps you get along with the book. It really helped me when I was reading it. Also, Aaron Gwynn, if you have the patience to watch a college lecture, I I mean, feel free to watch Aaron Gwynn's stuff. He's also fantastic. I've actually grown acquainted with him on Twitter, which that's pretty cool. He's liked a couple of my tweets. I also want to read some of his books as well. He's actually from my state as well, even though he's in North Carolina. Ugh, fucking went to North Carolina. Can't believe it. But yeah, you're hilarious. Well, that's good, Drew. I'm glad that you like Jonathan Strange and Mr. Narl. I mean, I've heard it's a fantastic book. I've had a lot of friends tell me it's good. Are you mixing up the podcast format or keeping it to interviews? Well, the thing is like it's kind of weird. It's not really interviews. It's kind of like, I mean, this channel is kind of, or this show is kind of just me shooting the shit with people and just kind of, seeing where it goes. There are people who ask me if I want to, structure it a little more, and I'm like, nah. I like talking to people. Probably just going to keep it where it is right now. I don't know. I don't really have any other ideas for the format, but maybe someday I'll think up of something. Maybe do streams, maybe cut some streams in there a little bit, see how that goes. Yeah. There's also some nonfiction books I want to read. Damn it, what? Let me just. Well, for one, Under the Banner of Heaven by John Krakauer, who wrote Into the Wild, which is a fantastic book. It's one of my favorite nonfiction books of all time. Oh yeah, I'll be gone in the dark. I do want to read that because I generally don't I'm generally picky with true crime because there's a lot of it that can be really trashy. But I'll be gone in the dark sounds like a really fascinating story. Milkman McGee's back. It's a great name, by the way. Excuse me. 2024 films you're most looking forward to? Oh man, God, I can't. I do like Bob Marley a lot, so I would like to read. I would like to see One Love from him. I don't know if it's gonna be because I'm generally picky with biopics, but we'll see how that goes. But films I'm looking forward to in 2024. No one has actually asked me that, so character analysis. Any Eric Larson? I do have Devil in a White City. I have not read it yet. I do want to though. I don't know when I'm going to get to that, but I have also heard he is very good. What character analysis am I going to do first? Oh boy, am I gonna spoil it? I guess there's no harm in it. Oh yeah, Civil War by how the fuck did I forget that? Yeah, looking forward to that because big Alex Garland fan. What character analysis will you be doing first? Oh boy. Well, am I going to spoil it? All right. Well, one of my favorite comics, if you didn't know already, that I've been kind of babbling on about. It's going to be a comic. So, I'll say that first. It'll be a comic. It will be The Will from Saga. So, yeah. Now you've heard it here first. The Will from Saga. There are some other ones I'd like to do, but I won't spoil those yet. But I will give you the first one. It will be The Will from Saga because I actually had a conversation with my friend Josh. A little bit. Say that. But yeah, completely forgot about Civil War. So yeah, Civil War. I'm looking forward to that. But character analysis first one will be The Will from Saga. So, it's kind of funny. I think he gets misunderstood a lot. A lot of people know him as like the stoner, love everybody guy. But like he has some really great stuff. Like his greatest hits album is one of my favorite greatest hits album of all time. Love it. None of the songs that they picked are bad. Like they're just all of them are fantastic. I really recommend that. Let me look it up real quick. Um, where's music at? There it is. Um, please do not. Some other films. I was looking forward to the new Spider-Verse film, but they pushed that back because they weren't at all ready for it, ready to put it out yet. So, yeah. Dune Part 2, nah, I don't really, not really. That's Oh, yeah, I think I heard something about that, 28 Days Later. Have not I don't know what to think about that yet because in all honesty, first movie is phenomenal. I think it's a masterpiece. Second movie, I do like. I know Jason's kind of been like, "What? Really?" But oh yeah, it's Legend. Legend is from Bob Marley is one of the greatest hits albums of all time. Like it really no bad pick on that list. It's very good. Um geez, what was I talking about? Oh yes, 28 Days Later. Uh I don't know. I don't know really about how it's all going to go down because I have 24 to 7.5. Wow, are the Lions real again, this is why I do not fucking bet on games. All right. I would lose so much money. I'm just my God. It's ridiculous. Maybe like anything that A24 puts out, I'm probably gonna at least be interested in because they usually put out some great stuff. I really do enjoy A24 a lot. I mean, they've made a lot of really fantastic films like The Witch, Hereditary, um, The Lighthouse. A lot of great stuff. The Green Knight was fantastic. If you like fantasy stuff, I love that film. Yeah, Civil War looks really interesting, though I don't know how it will go, but I have not been let down by Alex Garland yet, though I haven't seen Men, so take that with what you will. Ugh, Rebel Moon's coming out. Oh God, I'm not watching that. Uh, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Oh God, yeah, I saw that. Did the Maze Runner movies, which okay, that's something, I guess. Men is good but odd. Yeah, that's basically what I've heard. It's like a surreal horror film. If I do like I've liked John Krasinski's films that he's made, but I don't know. It looks kind of goofy to be honest with you. The Strangers. My God, they're making another Strangers film. The first one was, I think, is an underrated fucking movie. Like I think is an underrated fucking movie. Like I really do think The Strangers is a fantastic underrated classic. And it's one of the scariest horror films I've ever seen. Also, thank you, Joe, for congrats on 50. But they made the sequel. I didn't see it because I didn't want to see it. And now they're making the fucking first chapter. Like, I don't want to. What makes that film scary is we don't know who these people are. They just do it because it's fun. It's ridiculous. Furiosa, damn it, I forgot about that. Furiosa is looking forward to that. A little bit skeptical, but then again, I was skeptical of Mad Max Fury Road, and then I saw that, and I was like, "What the fuck was I smoking? That film was amazing. Why did I not see this in theaters? I'm a fucking idiot." But yeah, Furiosa, definitely. I'm definitely gonna see. I'm not gonna make the same mistake I did with Mad Max Fury Road. I, I'm glad we agree on this, Jason. That is the first Strangers is a freaking masterpiece. It is legitimately one of my favorite horror movies ever. Also, one of the few horror films that literally scare the crap out of me. Like, not literally. Don't hold on. Let me take that back. Um, it does creep me out a lot. Oh, we got a new Shyamalan movie. Oh God, I've given up on him. Wait, is this like his son? Wow, it's okay. His daughter is making a film called The Watchers. Oh, interesting. Ballerina, the John Wick spinoff, that looks like a movie I might see, though. I mean, we're not really though it's not made by Chad what's the fucking guy's name? Chad Salsky, I think. If it's not made by him, I'm kind of hesitant, but hopefully Ballerina's good. I think that oh shit, Nosferatu. Fuck. How did I forget one of my favorite filmmakers right now? Is one of my favorite filmmakers right now, Robert Eggers, is doing a remake, another one anyway, of Nosferatu. No, not the no, not the Werner Herzog one. Though I have wanted to see that, even though Klaus Kinski is a fucking maniac. Richard Linklater has a new movie, new Bad Boys film, whatever. Inside Out 2. Okay. I did really enjoy the first one a lot. Got another A Quiet Place film. It's not done by Krasinski, so I'm not really sure how that'll go, but I like the first two films a lot. Oh yeah, I saw they did a Despicable Me 4. Probably not going to see that because Project Artemis. Oh yeah. Oh, Deadpool 3 was coming out this year? I didn't know that. I thought that was at least to like 2025 or something. I guess I was on something. Maybe I'll see Deadpool 3. We'll see. We are getting an M. Night Shyamalan film. Well, like I said, I have long given up on that train, so not gonna see it. Getting a new Alien film. My God, what? Why can't they just like chill out with the fucking remakes? Like, dude, just make good movies. Is it that hard? There's also this one about like cavemen. It's like a horror movie. I forget the name, but it looks really cool. I really want to see that because I really like when people try things differently. Wolves, but John Watts. Okay. John Watts. I liked his Spider-Man films, so maybe. Joker Folie à Deux. Probably not going to see that because I saw the first one and I was like, too much like Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. Not really my thing. Some other things. Oh yeah, I also saw Dev Patel's making a movie, his first directed film, called Monkey Man, which looked kind of fun. So we'll see. Wicked is getting a film. Okay, that's a thing. How the hell did I forget about Nosferatu? Forgot about that. But Nosferatu is probably my most anticipated then, since Robert Eggers, man, he does not miss. Though, that comes out on Christmas. Oh fuck. Anyway, oh yeah, White Bird. What's this? Does not look interesting. Never mind. Not until December. God damn. Don't wait till all the way to December. Ridiculous. But yeah, no, yeah. Twisters, which got made in my home state, my cousin worked on that. And he said it was a lot of fun. Probably not going to see it because let me tell you, if you're from Oklahoma and you've seen the film Twister, it is peak comedy because Twisters are not at all like that. Like, it is one of the stupidest films I've ever seen. I mean, it really is. I freaking hate that. I don't hate. Okay, I don't hate it. I just think it's really stupid. Like, as an Oklahoman who has lived here my entire life and has been through tornadoes, I remember when the big Moore one in 2013. Which, by the way, poor Moore. They're always getting the shit end of it. But just stupid ass film. If you've ever lived in a Twister state, if you've ever lived in Tornado Alley, then you would probably have a laugh at Twisters. Though I do like Bill Paxton a lot, so it's not really It's not all bad. Beef. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about Beef. I know you liked it, Jason. I'll have to find that on Netflix and watch it. Also, the new True Detective season is on, and I'm kind of going back and forth on if I should see it because I don't know. I feel icky that they don't have I feel icky they don't have Pala. They don't have Pizzolatto anymore. It makes me feel weird. Oh wow, they made a Batman parody film called The People's Joker. Okay, wow. But a trans. Okay. It's a crowd-funded film. Interesting. I'll have to check that out. Uh, well, Guy Ritchie's making a new movie, but to be honest, like he kind of just makes the same film. Really, if you like, I watched The Gentleman and I enjoyed it, but if you've seen Snatch, then you're kind of like, okay, you know. Though then again, I haven't actually seen Snatch, so don't tell anybody that. Uh, Irish Wish. What the hell is this? Romantic comedy. Not interesting. Cabrini. Oh, it's a Christian biographical drama. Imaginary. Imaginary. Okay. Any video games? You know, I actually really want to. I've been kind of on a streak where I've been playing. Like a lot of Call of Duty. But a game like for the story that I want to play, I really, really want to play Disco Elysium because I've heard Disco Elysium is a fantastic game, and I sometimes struggle with old like RPG, the isotropic um, RPGs because like I'm just not used to um, playing like that, but not against it. I do want to try Disco Elysium though. Also, hopefully, I would like to beat the Pillars of Eternity, which is another RPG because I've been on kind of an RPG roll. Um, aside from that, I not really much else. I mean, you know, aside from like maybe playing like The Last of Us again, I haven't been playing a lot of video games. Sadly, I don't have a PS5, and there's some games I want to play on there. You know, I might play. I might actually go back and beat Hellblade, the one about the Norse lady. That I was really digging that game. I got distracted by other games and other things I was doing, and I was really digging that game. Do you like Oklahoma onion burgers? Well, I mean, burgers out here are pretty good. I'm not really an onion guy, though. Onion rings they're okay. I don't mind onion rings. They're pretty good. But going back to the video games, I've been so bad at keeping up with video games, man. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's let me tell you, man. Like I play less video games than I see movies nowadays. Like it's bad. It's really bad. Maybe not too bad. I mean, I'm doing other things, but it's it's really quite something. Um that I mean, I just haven't really been playing a lot of video games, which you know, I mean, I still love video games. Miller's Girl. Oh yeah, I like Jenna Ortega, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, it's I didn't know it was getting a sequel. Oh wow. But yeah, Disco Elysium's the big one I really want to get to because like I've heard that's a really good one, and I want to see it. It's fun having people over while you're streaming. Oh yeah, the Book of Clarence. That just kind of looks like a bad Life of Brian ripoff, except with black people. Night Swim. Have you guys seen trailers for that? That looks stupid as fuck. Again, just make good movies, guys. Like, come on. Not that bad. Can't be that hard, people. But yeah, no. Going back to video games, I haven't really been playing a lot, so probably. But yeah, no. I would say that my big focus would be Disco Elysium, maybe Call of Duty, because I like playing Call of Duty when I have time. Just when I need to just like relax for a moment and just like turn off my brain for a few hours while I'm like listening to stuff, I'll just put on Call of Duty. And there's actually some pretty damn good games in the Call of Duty franchise. Yeah, no, I've heard it's really good. I know some of people in your Discord. I think it's damn it, they make those like motion comics. I forget their name at the moment. But yeah. Oh, well, thank you for hanging out with us for a little bit, Drew. It's been a good time. Thanks for asking all of the questions. It's been a good time. It's been a good time. Yes, it's oh, I did get a comment on my top what I read in December. Tyler Peck said City of Thieves is one I have forgotten all about. I've been meaning to get it for a while. Which I will note that City of Thieves is indeed a fantastic book. Whatever you think of David Benioff and how he completely blew the ending of Game of Thrones alongside his partner, D.B. Weiss, turns out he can actually write a pretty damn good novel when he puts his mind to the task. I do hope to read 25th Hour at some point. Maybe check out the film. Is Gentleman Bastard series done? No, it's sort of in that same state as Game of Thrones, where it's not over and the guy hasn't really been putting him out. It's just been kind of silent. So yeah, now I'm in that. But unfortunately, Scott Lynch kind of ended it on a note because Republic of Thieves was kind of a letdown, at least for me personally. I thought it was a bit of a letdown. I mean, if you want to watch my review, I get a little ranty because there's some stuff in that book that were just baffling. I thought were pretty baffling, creative choices, and yeah, I mean, it's those first two books though are really, really good. I really enjoyed them a lot. Liza Locke Lamora was, well, like I said, my favorite book last year. So I've said it. I made a video about it. So yeah, I'm hoping to get more book reviews because I've just been doing a bunch of stuff because January's been ridiculous. I've been doing a lot of, like stuff I like this year and like other stuff and hold on. So yeah, hopefully getting back to more book reviews. I really want to cover My Dark Vanessa and All Things Left Wild because I thought those two books were really good, and I recommended both of them. I want to read more of James Wade. So yeah, he's an interesting guy. What's the next book review? Not sure yet. It's either gonna be My Dark Vanessa or All Things Left Wild. So yeah. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it'll go well because I have thoughts on both of those books. Um, are those books that you don't really know how to review at some point? Because like, there's a couple of books like that for me. Like, oh, what's one? I enjoyed it a lot. It was it's like it's very compulsive, or I would call it compulsively readable. Even though, I mean, if you go in thinking it's the next Lolita, you might be let down because it's not. But it's very much in that similar. Like, it doesn't quite have the. I actually talked with a guy named John Morrow recently, who runs a site called Grimdark, where he reviews fantasy stuff with other people, and he's a big Nabokov fan, and he described it as Lolita without Nabokov's mastery. And I would agree, it doesn't quite have the just language that'll just knock your socks off like Nabokov has, but I do think it's a very, very well done portrait of someone being abused. And it really shows like what good books should do, which is to make you feel like what it feels like going through these experiences, And I thought it was a good book, but sadly there wasn't the great language of Nabokov, which you know that definitely helped a lot. I do love, someone was asking me, I think it was on Friday actually. Um, um, I was actually being asked on Friday for my other stream, if there's a book that I want to read for Valentine's Day, and I'm like, I don't know, like it's kind of tough to say, like, and then I thought it would be kind of funny to do a Lolita review on Valentine's Day, because I'm like, that would just be fucking hilarious if I would love to do that. That's one of those books I don't know. I've reviewed it on my Goodreads. I don't know if it really does justice to that book, but um I would like to talk about it at some point because man, it's fantastic. So good. Um have you ever read Neil Strauss's The Game? No, I have not, Raymond. Um is it good? Oh dear. Yeah. I'm actually gonna put that. I'm actually gonna put my what's the big fuss up this Wednesday, and we'll figure out who won the book contest. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Um But yeah, I should note, Jason. Try My Dark Vanessa. I think it's a really good book. Though again, Neil Strauss's The Game. I don't think I've even heard of this. I have not, Raymond. Wow. Okay, this could be interesting. I might add that to my. I think I have actually heard of this book. Isn't this book kind of a meme? I did see Sword of Doom though, Raymond, and I thought that was a really interesting film. Um, it's a good one. It was solid. I've seen some better samurai films though. Like I really enjoyed Ron and Yojimbo. So yeah, kind of like that might be a little normy. I like Kurosawa a lot. Um, I can't say I have done. I can't say I have done that, Raymond. I bet I bet you've I bet you weren't too happy that the Ravens lost though. I know I know you like the Ravens. No, not yet. I don't know. I might actually get that film and watch it. I've heard that one's really good. I want to watch Quiden from the same director. I've heard that film is phenomenal. What movie? Um, well, which one are you talking about? I should do a hot takes video. Yeah, that would be interesting. Um, oh, I'm talking about the original. Yeah, I haven't seen Harakiri. I've heard that one is really good though. I want to try it at some point. Dude, you know what sucks having fucking like I know this is such a first world problem, but like you know what sucks about having so many fucking streaming services? Like the choices are freaking ridiculous. How am I going to cover all these freaking movies? It's made me kind of lazy, you know? Like I don't know what to watch anymore. Or, you know. Should I do a hot take? Maybe. Yeah, I'll do it like yours, and maybe I'll try that. I have a couple that might interest some people. Like for instance, my God, as I've said before, like I have gotten so much flack for not liking the Matrix films. Like you could swear like it's almost like I ran over some dude's dog. And I'm not talking about the other two movies. I'm talking like the first one. Like people take that shit personally. Yeah, yeah. It was. I didn't even see it to be honest with you. I was just kind of whatever. Um, yeah. I mean, it's if you've seen Romeo and Juliet, then you kind of get the story. It's though it's not as funny as Romeo and Juliet is because I think Romeo and Juliet is a satire. But because we don't really understand the language of Shakespeare as much, unless you're really, oh God, I knew you were gonna go there. Yeah, I mean to be honest, here's a good hot take for you. I actually like Office Space. I think that's a way like. Now I won't pretend it's like profound or doing what like Fight Club is doing, but I really enjoyed that film, Office Space, and I really enjoy its satire of corporate America and working in a desk job that you don't like. It's good stuff. I love that movie. Then again, I like Mike Judge. I do like King of the Hill a bit. Now I won't pretend he's up there with I won't pretend he's up there with like Trey Parker and Matt Stone or like those really great seasons of the Simpsons. But I like Matt. I like Mike Judge. I think he's solid at what he does. Um, Idiot Cross. I still need to see that. I've heard that one's really good, and a lot of people like to mention that when they're like, "Oh man, the world's just like that now." Yuck, yuck. And I'm just like, yeah, Jesus Christ. You know what fucking bothers me? Oh, here's a little take for you. I hate when people cite 1984 and say like that we're headed towards 1984 by fucking idiots who probably haven't even read it and know what the fuck that George Orwell is talking about. It it drives me fucking insane because like I mean imagine like I live with a bunch of like I live with a bunch like I don't want to get too political here, but we're probably going to get a little bit. Um, but like, there's some of my family who are dead ass like Trumpies, as I like to call them, or Trumpers, or whatever you want to call them, and they're like, "Oh man, 1984 is right around the fucking corner." I'm like, "No, it's not. No, it's not." And if you fucking say that without irony, you don't fucking understand 1984 or what the fuck George Orwell was talking about. Because what the fuck he was talking about was totalitarianism. Yes, the totalitarianism within socialism. Hear me out. Because he was pissed off at Stalin for basically taking over the communist revolution and basically turning it into his personal dictatorship. Though, if you really want to go in on the history, that was probably going to happen no matter who was going to take over, whether it be Trotsky or Stalin. But I digress. But people who unironically say that we're headed to 1984, for one, doesn't fucking understand what the book was about. And two, if you probably haven't read Brave New World, which I actually find is a far more realistic take on how a dystopia would happen. I mean, I've made my thoughts pretty clear on that in the past, so I won't really go into much detail. But yeah, it drives me fucking crazy when people talk about, oh, we're headed to 1984. No, we're not. If we were in 1984 right fucking now, like, we would not be talking like this. Like, it drives me crazy. And Jason, I know you're a fan of 1984. What do you make of this? Also, Raymond, Animal Farm is also a fantastic book. Really, it's a lot shorter than 1984, which is nice. Hyperbole. Is that all you got to say? Oh man, no, yeah, no. I mean, but that's politics for you. Yeah, pretty much. There's that episode of It's Always Sunny when like the guys try to run for office and Charlie locks Mac out and he's like, "That's politics, bitch." Yeah, it's great stuff. I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But yeah, no, it just it drives me crazy. Yeah, no, that, and I mean, I should back up and say that there is some real shady shit that the government does that you're like, oh shit, Orwell was fucking right about that, huh? But it's not at all like, it's the same shit that you probably, I mean, Jason, you're much older than me. I bet your parents said the same thing when you were growing up, or maybe your grandparents or somebody who's older than you, probably saying this country's been going to shit. They probably said it then. Their parents probably said it in their time. And that's just kind of how I view it, which is, which I'll bring this back to another book, No Country for Old Men. I haven't seen either of those films, but like, if you want to explain what you mean, Raymond, feel free. Oh, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, No Country for Old Men. No Country for Old Men. I was actually going to respond to your comment that you sent me the other day, Jason, that we were, because you did the read along of No Country for Old Men, and you were asking me what I meant when I said that, like, the whole point of the story is that the world has always been violent and crazy, and like, what are you talking about? Well, I mean, for one, I would point to the "it ain't all waiting on you" conversation in the film, and basically I could just go, that's it. If you really listen to that conversation, basically what he's telling him is, dude, it's always been that way. Like, what are you thinking? Like, it's going to the dogs, dude. It's already been with the fucking dogs. Like, it's kind of the same point McCarthy was making in Blood Meridian, which is that, like, violence and evil are going to be here. They have always been here. They will be here as long as humankind exists. And I will be, I don't know if I'm quite as bleak as McCarthy is, but I can take it that I can say that I'm glad that we haven't blown ourselves up yet. So there you go. If you want me to expand on that, I mean, you can let me know. But like, I find No Country for Old Men is kind of the just best piss take on people who think that the world is going to shit. I'm like, dude, it's already been shit. Like, what the fuck are you going on about? Like, still violent, still fucking crazy, And yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, I mean, I totally, I'm not going to act like, Bell is being an idiot, because I don't think he's a fool. And I understand why he feels that way. I mean, I felt that way in my life. I mean, I think, this is going to sound really bizarre, but there's almost a comfort in there's almost a comfort within No Country saying that, it's always been violent and crazy, because it makes me feel a little better, because we haven't actually blown ourselves up yet. you know I don't know if that makes sense. I could be fucking crazy, but it also, to make more sense here, I feel, I'm glad I don't feel alone. I guess that's the thing I'm kind of glad about when it comes to that, because if I remember, McCarthy said once, he said something like, I want to, I write about these horrible things because it makes me appreciate the good stuff. And, I agree with that. And I guess that's why I like darker stuff. I mean, my family's always asking, like, why do you always like this dark stuff? I'm like, you know what? It makes me appreciate the good things we have. It reminds me that things could be a lot worse. What movies do you want to? I think Oppenheimer might take it, but God, I've stopped paying attention to the Oscars. Hope hope Across the Spider-Verse wins. That would be great if that film won, but I don't think it will, because I think they have a different thing for animation. But yeah, Jason, I know what you mean. That's kind of what he's talking about, is how the media exasperates, all the bad stuff that goes on in our world, because that creates juicy stories, and that's kind of my issue with news, which is kind of why I kind of went the journalism route, at least in school, is because I'm hoping at least I can try and, I'm probably not going to change the system or anything like that, because I don't know if you've ever watched The Wire, but that's probably not possible. But I do think that maybe I could do some good. I will admit, I'm Just Ken is a fucking bop. Like, there's a hot take for you, or maybe it's not. I don't know. But that song is, it's pretty fucking cool. I like that song. It's pretty fun. I'm gonna try. Journalism is such a thing, dude. Like, it is. A lot of people say journalism is dying. I disagree. Journalism is changing because we have the internet. We can access things very easily now. And there's a lot of ethical conundrums that come with that. And I think that's what people are struggling with. It's not necessarily that pen and paper going away anytime soon. Because again, I really lack the patience with dealing with people who say, like, it ain't as good, or, the old days are better. And I also hate people who are acting like things are fucking dying. Like, that's why I can't stand people like the Critical Drinker, or, I don't know if can't stand is the right word, but I've grown sick of them, because like doom and gloom does not fucking interest me. Like, doom and gloom is just that. It is just to get people fevered up into a frenzy, and it kind of pisses me off that people are. It's also just fucking laziness. Like, if you really want to find exceptional films, fucking look for them. You can't just expect Hollywood to shoot them out every time. And also, Hollywood is already a fucking cesspool of stupid shit. So, go find movies that you might like and then come back. Because when you do all this negative stuff, even over things that I actually like, it feels disingenuous to me. It just feels like you're, you know, I can't put it to words. I could go on a huge rant on why people like The Critical Drinker, Yellow Flash, Ethan Van Sciver, or like fucking Razor Fist, all those fucking guys. Like, I could go on a rant on why those people bother me so much, but I won't go there. I'm not gonna. I don't really. Yeah, A24 is usually pretty good. They have put out some stinkers in the past, but they're doing very well for themselves, and I'm really glad that they exist, because it really fills that market for people who want to see really good films, but they don't really, they're not really trusting Hollywood anymore. Yeah, he's certainly I do think he rides Sam Raimi's dick a little too hard, to be honest with you, because like he's just like, oh man, Sam Raimi. Like, I love Spider-Man 1 and 2. And there are parts of 3 that I appreciate. Even though Jacob, we've discussed this many times. We've done the episode on it. Yeah, no, don't even get me started on Star Wars. Oh my god, like, dude. Again, I hate the doom and gloom fucking people. They're not saying anything that's interesting. It's just, this is bad, rah rah rah. We should go back to these other films that are kind of dated, and we should just do whatever. And they seem to like take pot shots at stuff that want to like be deeper than just like entertainment, which that also annoys me, because it's like, art isn't just about entertainment, people. It's about getting to it's okay. Let me put it this way. They they see that there's a problem. They see now, I will give them that they are seeing a problem that is really there, but I don't like their solution to the problem, because a lot of it is just, let's just go back to things. And I'm like, I don't know. It's hard for me to say. Just gonna be an A24. I played Death Stranding. That game fucking sucked. Ugh, God, that was painful. That game was painful to play. Stupid ass game. Yeah, I would agree with you. They really they are playing to a crowd, and I'll give them that. I'll give them this. They're very successful at it. There's even people who think that Razor Fist is a genuinely like good source of information, when it's deafeningly clear he's not. I mean, if you've ever seen his Alan Moore or his Civil War videos, you know that this guy's a fucking idiot. Either he's a fucking moron, or he is so arrogant that he thinks people will just take his word for it. I don't know what's worse, to be honest with you. It's it's ridiculous. Again, I could go on I could just go on and rant about this for hours, but I don't. I kind of already made a video about issues I have with criticism nowadays, and like how I think, I mean, I like I you know it's like, for instance, I like Jason's channel because he's critical without just being doom and gloom bullshit. Like, if you want to watch like a good critical like YouTube channel, I would recommend Jason's. Now, do I always agree with what he has to say? No. Hell, there's plenty of times where, God, I don't even know when we agree. Okay, that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but like, he's not just boo hissing. He's not one of those like fanboys who grew up in the '80s and is like mad that like women are in Star Wars or some bullshit like that. Like, you really get some good information from his channel, or people like Amanda. You know, again, I've just gotten sick of people like Critical Drinker. I'm tired of it. I don't really want to. They still recommend me his videos because I was suckered in, and I don't hate Critical Drinker. Again, I'm just sick of him. I'm sick of him, and I'm sick of people like him. I just feel. Maybe I'll read one of his books, though. I've heard he's put out some books. I've thought about picking it up, but we'll see. Yeah, they really are. They really don't want to give animation a bone, because I don't know. People still. It always bugs me when people call animated films cartoons, because like there's a connotation there. Like, it's almost like they think it's like Tom and Jerry or some shit, and I'm like, No, not quite. There definitely is, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with liking those cartoons. I mean, I grew up watching Scooby Doo when I was a kid, and I fucking love Scooby Doo. But I think animation is I guess what makes me it kind of irritates me when people say that is I think animation is more than that. You know, it's not just Tom and Jerry and like Scooby Doo and shit. Now, don't get me wrong, I like those. I love Scooby Doo. I like the Grinch from the '60s. Um, it's just kind of I could go into. Um, it just there's I could be like going back to Peter Griffin, Raymond. I could go like what grinds my gears and just turn that into a show. He's like, "What grinds your gears, Britton?" I'm like, "Oh, I can let you know about some things." But Jacob, sadly, I do not have a PS5 yet. But when I get a PS5, I am going to get Marvel Spider-Man 2 as soon as possible because I really want to freaking play that game so bad. Like it, oh, because that first game. I mean, it was kind of like when I saw Spider Verse, which is hilarious. So they both came out the same year. Wasn't expecting much from Marvel Spider Man, but then I bought it and I played it. Incredible, incredible game. It's so good. I have thought about doing screenplays. Amanda has asked me a similar question. I have thought about doing like I have thought about it. I've had some ideas for doing something like that, but you know, I'm just kind of I kind of when I approach a project, I think what's the best medium I think could do this, and then that's kind of how I go. But maybe someday we'll see. But then again, I mean, I've written comic scripts, so I guess it can't really be that difficult. I don't know. I'm not. But again, I'm not against the idea. Let me. Yes, as a matter of fact, Craven is one of my favorite Spidey villains. And if I can go on another rant real quick, what the fuck was Sony thinking when they put out the Craven the Hunter? Um, Craven the Hunter. Just it's like Sony hates. It's like Sony hates Spider-Man fans. I'm telling you right now, except for the Across the Spider-Verse stuff, which is actually made by the people who like Spider-Man. There's some of these films like Madam Web, which I'm not seeing. Just oh god, it hurts my brain just how badly they're doing a job at doing Spider. Just I wish they just fucking give it to Marvel, give it back to Marvel, and they can do whatever with it. I don't know, and ooh. But yes, I have heard that the Spider-Man 2 is a pretty good game, and I really want to play it because also the new Star Wars the Jedi Survivor, I think is what it's called, because I really enjoyed that first game a lot. Um Also, I mean, yeah, just this I could Jason, now that I'm thinking more about it, I might actually see if I can do a hot takes video at some point. See what I'll get from my beloved audience. Because I've met because I'm sure there's a lot of people have a lot of spicy opinions. Yeah, I've heard that, and I've seen some clips from it. Um. Oh well, that's interesting. You bring that up. I would probably just start with A Drink Before the War if you really want to get a taste of his if of Lahane's style. I would recommend just reading A Drink Before the War. But if you really want to see him at his best, then you could just dive into Mystic River and see what you think of that. So either one of those two, I would recommend if you want to read first. Or actually, Shutter Island as well, if another one. But my main one would be A Drink Before the War. So there you go. I watched Quantum Mania in theaters with my dad about this time last year, and I was like, and that was kind of the moment where I kind of had to look at myself in the mirror, had me a good cry, and I had to let it go. Yeah. Oh my god. Don't even get. Oh god. If you told Carlton about that video, about that potential video, oh my god, I would get like a shitload. And there's some of them that are just ridiculous. I'm like, dude, like, dude goes on Twitter and is like shit talking the new Superman movie, like way before it comes out. I'm like, dude, you haven't even seen it yet. Just because you have like a weird hate boner against James Gunn for some reason, you think he's like he's gone as far as to call him like a pedo. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? If you don't like his movie, like, I don't like Zack Snyder's films. Like, I really don't. And I know a lot of you are like, oh god, he's going on the Zack Snyder thing again. I don't like his films, but I have no personal animosity towards the man. I do wish him well in his stuff. And as a matter of fact, I felt really bad for him when his daughter died. I mean, that was fucked up. There were some people who were like saying some shit to him about his daughter dying. I'm like, yo, that was fucked up. Whoever fucking does that, like like I don't care if I don't like your movies. That is just that's some evil shit right there. But yeah, going back to when did I give up on the MCU? It was probably Quantum Mania because I was like, oh no, this. I think our time might have passed, and it made me really sad because I really want the MCU to do well because it's really like the MCU is one of the few things that's actually keeping like popular films alive right now because everyone's always bitching about, oh, mainstream movies aren't what they used to be. And, I'm like, I mean, you may not like superhero films, but at least the MCU puts out solid movies, occasionally great when they really put their effort into it. And it's really keeping people coming back to the theaters. We need more MCUs in the world because and one that's made with sincerity by people who really love the Marvel universe and want to do it right. We need more of that. That's why I think the DCEU has failed, and that's why I think it's still failing, even though there are the fans who are like, "Oh, bring the Snyderverse to Netflix." I'm like, dude, it's over. It's been over. It was a fucking abortion when fucking not Man of Steel, not Man of Steel. It was fucking, it was an aborted fetus by the time that Batman v Superman came out. And I'm not even fucking sorry for saying that. I hate that movie. But it was doomed from the start. I'm just saying that franchise was doomed from the start. And I mean, oh God, I don't even want to get started on the DCU because that's just massive disappointment. I liked Spring Breakers. I thought it was a fun movie. Though James Franco as like the weird drug dealer was kind of bizarre, but I don't disagree. Last 40, like the last like 40 minutes, which is basically the battle, is incredible. Rest of it, don't really care so much. It's just, oh my god. But that last like 40 minutes of the movie, which is basically the battle scene, fantastic stuff. I love I do really enjoy that part of the movie. I think Hell, if they had just done that, if they had just done a 40-minute like short movie, like it could have been a good film. Could have been fun. I would have watched that. You know, I'd like to see space combat. Mm, 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 disagree. We'll go with the Mandalorian on that one. I know Jason might go like, "What? No, it's not," but because Jason doesn't like popular things. But yeah, those first two Mandalorian seasons anyway. I haven't seen season 3. Don't know if I'm gonna watch season 3. I've heard it's pretty bad. But those first two seasons are very, very good. I enjoyed them. Then again, it does deal with some tropes that I like, such as the man and the kid walking around. I like that trope. That's why Last of Us is one of my favorite games because it's chock full of that. You know. Well, I just said I haven't seen Mandalorian season 3. Probably not going to because I heard it was pretty bad. And oh, see you later, Jason. I was actually about to probably end this soon at some point. Have I seen Blue Eye Samurai? No, I have not. Again, I've been really bad at keeping up with movies and TV because, like, my God, there's so much going on, and also have a shitload of I have a bunch of stuff I need to sit down and watch. But I haven't seen Blue Eyed Samurai. But thanks, Jason, for hanging out, talking for a while. You take care of yourself. Yeah, that's about what I've heard about Mandalorian season 3. It's honestly, season 3 should have just been those 2 episodes. Those 2 episodes of Boba Fett that everyone really liked, where Mando and Grogu reunite. That should have been season 3, if you ask me. Really should have been season 3, because after that, you've basically done played yourself, as they say. Yeah. I didn't watch season 3 because, kind of like with the Justice League film that came out a few years ago, I kind of anticipated the disaster that was going to come out. And yeah, not really much else for me to say aside from I don't really it's just kind of eh. Though perhaps it's not a complete dumpster fire. I mean, Jack Black I saw was on there, which Jack Black is fun. I like Jack Black. No, School Rock's a good film. I quite and Kung Fu Panda. First 2 Kung Fu Pandas are really good. Oh God, I've stopped taking Carlton's opinions. Well, at least movie wise, I've stopped kind of caring because it's almost like Carlton's one of those guys who thinks that dark and grittier equals like more mature storytelling. And I really don't have the patience to tell him like, no, that's not really how that works, because he'll just throw a fucking fit and get pissed off at me. But yeah, I think Leto. I don't think he's awful. I just think he really went a bit over the top. Also, Jared Leto's a fucking weirdo, to be honest with you. Indeed, School of Rock is awesome. Don't love it as much as Dazed and Confused, but it is a very good movie. What drugs is that guy on? A very appropriate question, Darko, about Jared Leto. That guy thinks he's fucking Jesus or some shit. I don't know, but yeah, he also might groom people. That's not cool, or groom like underage fans. And I'm like, oh, that's not cool. That's kind of fucked up and weird. I'm not but yeah, no, Leto's one of those guys. He's like a method actor who tries really hard, kind of like Dustin Hoffman, or he's not like Daniel Day-Lewis, where I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis, he might go a little overboard with the method, but his talent really speaks for itself. And And I will say the same thing for Hoffman. I mean, I give Hoffman a hard time. I do think he tries a little too hard when it comes to like method acting, but his talent speaks for itself. Leto, I can't say for sure. I he's one of the, again. I think Leto's one of those method actors who just tries really hard, and it just comes off as trying really hard. It's I don't know. He's a weird guy. If you've ever read about him or like seen photos, he's a weird fucking dude. Leto isn't a method actor; he's a meth actor. Yeah, no, it's yeah, it's. I will pretend that is I will not pretend that I understand that man. Though he seems to think he's fucking Jesus or some shit because he literally just like he just like has the fucking Jesus look, man. I don't really give a shit what Carlton has to say about Guardians 3 because in all honesty, I've never really gotten his hate boner for I really have never gotten his hate boner for James Gunn. Sure, James Gunn does some things I don't care for. I do think his crude. I do think his his sense of humor can be a little crude at times, but I think he's quite solid. I mean, hell, Zack Snyder would not have a career if it weren't for James Gunn because recall he wrote the script for his Dawn of the Dead remake, which is probably the best film he made. So, I mean, the thing with Snyder is if he has a good script, I think he does a good job. But when he tries to put his like spin on the story, it sucks. Like I haven't seen Rebel Moon. Well, I mean, okay, I'll give you that, Raymond. But like again, I don't really love everything James Gunn has done. I think like I said, I do think he's a little reliant on the crude humor. I do think he relies a little bit on the crude humor, but like I said, I think he's a talented dude who makes consistently good films. And Guardians of the Galaxy 3 might be my favorite thing he's done, at least so far. I haven't seen all of his films. I haven't seen Super, so I can't comment too much. But Guardians 3, and I was starting to fear he was kind of slipping a little bit because Suicide Squad, I liked it, but there were some issues I had with it. Particularly it felt a little too like it felt kind of like he was treading water a little bit. But Guardians 3 was super fucking good. Oh my god. That was my second favorite. Like that was probably the last MCU film. It felt like the end of an era, to be honest with you. I was like, oh man. Actually, that might have been the moment where I decided to step away from the MCU for good because Guardians 3 was so freaking good. Like it, you know, I think is a beautiful I thought it was a beautiful ending to the story. And yeah, I'd agree with that. Wholeheartedly. I really love Kurt Russell as the villain. And that film has grown on me over the years. Like I enjoyed it when it came out, but it's steadily grown on me as the years have gone on. I think Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy is probably some of the best MCU films I've seen. I will see Deadpool 3. Well, yeah. I might see Deadpool 3. I thought 2 was okay. I'll admit I'm not the biggest fan of Deadpool. I like I like Ryan Reynolds as the character. I think he's a good fit for the character. Um and the first Deadpool film is fucking awesome. I'm not even. I'm gonna give them props. The first Deadpool film is a freaking awesome film. I love it. The humor on point, the action incredible, the story actually pretty well done. It's pretty touching in some parts. Um, like I really like the romance. Believe it or not, I like the romance of the first film. Again, it's really good. Deadpool 2 really trying to go into again really too heavy on the meta humor, which I thought was kind of stupid, and also the like kind of heartwarming bit just well, I guess it kind of makes sense cuz Deadpool is a fucking idiot, but yeah, I had issues with Deadpool too. I thought there was some dumb stuff in that movie. Um Yeah, I am looking forward to that, though. I have to agree with James Mangold. I was kind of let down because Logan was such a freaking amazing movie, and they're kind of bringing him back. I guess it's like another version of him. But yes, I have seen him in the classic yellow blue suit, so I am looking forward to that. And I'm hoping they don't pull a multiverse of madness where they tease us with them and then they just like get rid of them like 5 minutes later, like with Mr. Fantastic. you know, that fun stuff. I really would not like that at all because I was really kind of disappointed that John Krasinski was only in that film for like 5 minutes. I've gone back and forth on Multiverse of Madness. I mean, I like Sam Raimi's visual flair. You could definitely tell it was a movie he made. I liked a lot of the action sequences, and it had more heart than the previous Doctor Strange film. Which, man, if they had only changed the villain to Mordo, that would have been a fucking amazing movie. But yeah, a lot of it is just like, yeah, I have a lot of pacing issues with that film, and also, yeah, yeah, she's in it for like, God, how long? Or well, no, yeah, and she fucking murders Professor X. Like, what the hell? He was a fucking great character. And I was also kind of mad we didn't get the Tom Cruise Iron Man cameo. That would have been fucking awesome. But Tom Cruise is kind of sus, so I know Jacob loves Tom Cruise, so I'll stay off of that. Yeah, parallel universes is one of my favorite tropes in sci-fi. But the problem with what they've been doing in the movies is that A, they're doing it too much, and B, they're not doing it very well, you know? Like Loki, like the first season of I haven't seen the second season yet, but I've heard second season is really good. Really loved how they did the multiverse and how because it wasn't just about the multiverse, it was about identity and where you really place yourself in the world. How are you going to if your existence is just one of many dozens of existence, many like dozens of universes, then where does that put you on the map? What makes you so special? I thought that was really fascinating. Um and also Across the Spider Verse is really good because it goes into similar territory, and also Everything Everywhere where all at once really does that well. Um, no, I mean, God, I have issues with Ozark. The ending particularly was like, what the fuck? Yeah, I would agree with you, Jacob. It's yeah, we're not really in a great spot with the MCU right now because a lot of shit has gone wrong, to be honest with you. I mean, Jonathan Majors, who was the best. I really wish that I was really disappointed to hear that he did what he did, and they found him guilty. So make with that as you will. Um, yeah, Ozark kind of reminded me of The Sopranos again. It just kind of like you're watching it and then it just kind of stops and you're just like, what the fuck was that? Except with The Sopranos, at least they built up to that point, so it wasn't just like a what the fuck. In Ozark, it was just kind of like okay, and it was over, and you're like, what? That was dumb. Yeah, same here. Same here, man. Same here, I'm also hoping that yeah, pretty much. They're like, yeah, we're basically we're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. If he gets convicted, we're dropping him, and that's what they did. And yeah, so yeah, I would agree. I think I would agree. But then again, Warner Bros is such a shit show right now. Like any idiot who knows, you know, any idiot could have done better than what Warner Bros did. Like that's how bad they are right now. But yes, as I was saying, I am also looking forward to Born Again because they're getting a lot of the actors back and they're getting the stunt coordinators back. Hopefully they get the writing team back. That would be great. Um, that would really seal the deal for me. But I've heard Echo was okay. I didn't watch it. Also Raymond, some of those Disney Plus shows were not bad. Like I liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier a lot. I wish it was longer, to be honest with you, but I liked what they did there. Moon Knight was also fun, though. Again, I wish that was just a show instead of a fucking miniseries. But oh well. She Hulk, I didn't watch it except for that Daredevil episode because like it's fucking stupid what they're what they did really. I I just thought it was dumb. I mean, I have some friends who liked it, and I'm like, I'm glad you like it. Like I really am. But uh yeah, I'm not gonna dip my toe into that, to be honest with you. I mean, I like when I saw the twerking scene with Meg the Stallion, I was like, you know what? I think I think it would be good for my mental health if I didn't watch that. I think I'll be okay. And though I did like the Daredevil episode. I thought it was fun. It was nice seeing Matt back. Now some were like, yeah, the yellow suit. I don't really give a shit about that. I'm just glad he's back. And it's nice seeing Matt in a better place. I would like to see a more street level Spider-Man movie after No Way Home because we've been seeing a lot of the um speaking of multiverse films that did it well, I quite liked No Way Home, which is how to do fan service exceptionally. Because it didn't get in the way of the story. The story in that film I thought was really beautifully done, and it was a beautiful ending to the arc that was being built up. And here's my hot take: I think that Spider-Man: Homecoming is an underappreciated film. I really, really do. And people who were bitching about Iron Boy Jr. were missing the point of the movie completely because, oh, I don't want to get started on another rant though. But but yeah, I'm looking forward to watching. Hoping Born Again doesn't suck. Uh, I was actually talking about True Detective earlier because I might watch True Detective season 4 for my job, but I've also heard mixed things that it was pretty good, but it didn't really um but yeah, I've heard similar things, mixed things. There's some people who like it. There's a lot of people who are pretty much just the season 1 fans who don't like it. I feel kind of icky that they're going on without Nick Pizzolatto because I really find that True Detective is Nick Pizzolatto's baby. But I mean, I like Jodie Foster, and I mean, it could be. I mean, I heard they were influenced by The Thing, so that could be fun. Um, could be fun. I'm not. But I don't want to knock it. I was initially going to avoid it, but then I heard it got positive reviews, so I'm like, okay, maybe. But I've heard it go back and forth. I am not against watching it. I'll put it that way, but I'm not going to be rushing ahead to see it really, because it's you know, again, I still have my reservations. Uh, I mean, if there's any other questions you guys want to ask about the podcast, the anything in general, you should check out Tokyo. I've heard good things about Tokyo Vice. Michael Mann directed a couple of episodes, and I'm a huge Michael Mann fan, even though I thought Black Hat was a stupid ass movie. Um, I mean, I thought Black Hat was a stupid fucking film. I mean, God, talk about old man. This is how old man thinks the internet works. Yeah, terrible, terrible film. But I've heard Ferrari's good, and I've heard Tokyo Vice is also good. Sounds like something I would like. I like a lot of crime stuff. Like a lot of crime, like mystery, thriller stuff. Um, oh, geez, dude, did he literally fucking say that? Did Carlton really say that? It had the same fucking plastic look as the Justice League film. What is he talking about? The CG looks like fucking plastic. It looks like they're wearing fucking plastic suits. It's he fucking oh my god. I haven't seen his Miami Vice film. Not a Miami Vice fan of. I'm not a fan of those cop shows like Law and Order or just fucking dull. Oh god. And I get that they're trying to go for a realistic like I mean I watch The Wire and I get a way better cop drama than Law and Order. I'm just not a fan of those types of movies or shows. Like Law and Order, Criminal Minds is okay. I have seen Ali. That is a good film. One of Will Smith's better performances, I think. And really shows that if he wasn't so bad at picking scripts, he'd actually be a pretty damn good at. He'd get a lot more prestige than he already has. Like Ollie and King Richard, which are hilariously both biopics, probably his best films he's done so far. Well, I do like the Men in Black films. Favorite sci-fi shows. Let's see. Love the X-Files, though I find that the standalone episodes are a lot better than the videos than the main arc. I think the standalones are a lot better. Doctor Who. I really like Doctor Who a lot for similar reasons. Um uh Deep Space Nine is probably my favorite Star Trek show. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff. Probably my favorite Trek that I've ever seen. Fringe is really good. I haven't actually finished it, but from what I have seen, really good. Also, one of my favorite takes on the multiverse, on parallel universes anyway. Um, Let me go back to my movie, see if I can find some other shows. Um, but I mean I haven't seen like Firefly or oh yeah, Twilight Zone. How the fuck did I forget about that? The original Twilight Zone, I think it's in my top 5 favorite TV shows of all time. It is a freaking masterpiece. And if you like anime, Cowboy Bebop is my favorite anime of all time. Incredible, incredible storytelling. And Black Mirror, I think, is also really good. Um, I have not seen either of those. I apologize. I know I haven't seen. Oh yeah, and Stranger Things. I think Stranger Things is really good. I did have some issues with the writing in season 4, but but yeah, I actually want to watch Deep Space Nine again, hopefully this year. Rick and Morty as well. I'm really frustrated with Rick and Morty. I've talked about it a little bit before. I like Rick and Morty, but I'm really frustrated with it. I think it's one of those shows that settles for being what it is when it could be so much better. Like it could be like a BoJack Horseman if if they really grew some balls and really went into that direction. I think they could really do some great stuff, but they're not. Also, Batman Beyond, if you want to consider that sci-fi, I really enjoy Batman Beyond a lot. And Person of Interest. I think Person of Interest is underrated, and Torchwood is also underrated. Um, yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from there. I know a lot of people are kind of frustrated with. I know there's a lot of people who are kind of tired of uh, Stranger Things. I enjoy it though. I think it's pretty good. I like it a lot. Um, Also, I saw Pluto, which is the adaptation of Naoki Urasawa's um um Naoki Urasawa's manga, which is really good. The adaptation was really good. They really did it well. Um, but yeah, no. I mean, you say Battlestar Galactica, and I think Ronald D. Moore, the guy who did Battlestar Galactica, was a fan, or no, not a fan. He wrote Deep Space Nine before he did Battlestar Galactica, so I think I'll like Battlestar Galactica whenever I get to it. Um, but I think um yeah, I think season 1 is still the best one because it just appeals to me because I like coming of age stories and I like small town mysteries. Like that's a big reason I really like Stephen King. Um um but yeah, aside from that, that's probably my favorite Star or not Star. Or well, Star Wars The Clone Wars. Oh, dude, please do watch Deep Space Nine. It is fantastic. I mean, my God, it's my favorite Star Trek thing. I mean, it might it doesn't quite have the iconic nature of something like like you know Next Generation original show. It doesn't quite have that iconic, you instantly know it, but it probably has the best writing that I've seen in Star Trek ever. And yes, it is written by the same guy who did um Battlestar Galactica. Not I'm not a Blumkamp fan, but all right, District 9 was pretty solid. I'm surprised that Critical Drinker like that movie. I mean, talk about being obvious about your political message. Uh, um, oh yeah, Samurai Jack is really fun. I really enjoy Samurai Jack a lot. That 5th season, oh, so good. It's incredible. I really enjoy Samurai Jack a lot. Um, but yeah, no, Deep Space Nine is probably my favorite Star Trek stuff. I really, really enjoy and I want to watch it again because I was talking with Josh on the Christmas episode of Britton's Hangout Hour, and we were talking about Deep Space Nine, and I had forgotten some stuff, and I'm like, I gotta fucking watch it again. And I'm generally good at remembering things from the show. I mean, I forgot. I don't know how the hell I forgot about Dull to Cot, but um, oh man, that would be something. A Samurai Jack Johnny Bravo crossover. That would be something. Like I'm sure like Samurai Jack's beating up all the bad guys while Johnny Bravo's flirting with a bunch of women badly. I think that would be a fun crossover. But aside from that, yeah, that's probably it's probably like my like top favorite sci-fi. Maybe I'll make like maybe I'll do like Mike's book reviews and do like a favorite sci-fi shows at some point. Because there's a lot of great shit out there, man. But my favorite sci-fi show is probably The Twilight Zone, the original one. Fantastic. Followed very closely by Cowboy Bebop. They do switch from time to time. Okay, I need to add stuff to movie here, but let me check my phone real quick. Mm-hmm. Well, we've been going on for almost 2.5 hours. Be honest, I was kind of not sure if we were even gonna make it this far. To be honest with you, for a minute there, because I didn't really see anybody first. But I see that people are chilling or starting to flock away. And also, again, we've been going for 2.5 hours, so I don't want to keep you all here for too long. Kindle and Kicks, I also enjoyed hanging out, and thank you for hanging out. I don't know if you were like darting in and out or whatever, because like I would see the numbers and they kind of would fluctuate. But thank everybody who came on here, like Raymond, Jason, Milkman McGee, if he's still here, Jacob. Thank you everybody for coming on here. Epic showed up for a little bit. Drew as well. Yeah, thank you all for coming on. This has been a lot of fun, and hopefully Britain's Hangout Hour will keep going and will keep being awesome, because that's what I want at the end of the day. I just want great content, and yeah, there will be more episodes of Britain's Hangout Hour coming out this year. I got a couple of good ones coming up. I'm going to be talking to Bookborn in a few weeks, so I'm very excited about that. I'm also going to be talking to Brian Bell too, so I'm looking forward to that. Aside from that, not really much else to say. So thank you for hanging out with me for a couple of hours. I'm going to take off. Take care, everyone.